Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. It is Sunday evening and I just got inspired to make a video as I was finishing up with one of my weekly habits that actually helps me maintain my health during busy times in my life. This next week is going to be especially busy. So I know halfway through this week I'm going to think, thank God I invested some time in my health on Sunday night. So my habit is that on Sunday evenings I will actually make a couple of meals earlier on in the week that I can then tap into anytime I need a quick meal during the week. Say I have a 12-hour day where I'm going to be going from meetings to teaching to patient care. It's going to be so important for me to be able to wake up in the morning, get ready, grab my food, put it in a bag, and then take it to work with me. And I think a lot of Americans, probably one of the more stressful aspects of their health that leaves them not reaching their health goals is the fact that a lot of the times we prioritize our work over our health. And so sometimes that means going to work and not having a meal that you can eat, or not having a healthy snack that you can eat, and instead relying on foraging for yourself at local restaurants or at grocery stores. And it's always hard to make healthy decisions when, first of all, you don't have a lot of time to make the decisions about what you're going to eat, and second of all, when you're hungry, it's so hard to make decisions. You just want to get your blood sugar up and get some food in right away. So I've found preparing meals ahead of time is actually a really money-saving and health-promoting habit. So I chose Sunday nights as my time because it's time where I can just put some music on, prepare some food, and just have some me time. So I wanted to share with you the foods that I made for myself this week. So it's the end of February, the beginning of March. It's still pretty cold up here in Connecticut. And during these colder months, I don't feel like waking up and having a smoothie for breakfast. I don't feel like eating oatmeal. It loses I lose my taste for it by probably mid-January. So instead, I prefer really warm and nourishing soups. And one of my favorite soups to have for breakfast is actually lentil soup. Lentil soup is really high in minerals, it's really high in fiber, it's really high in protein. When you eat it, it keeps your blood sugar levels even. For me, until lunchtime. So I usually eat breakfast at around 7 or 8, and I'm full and I'm energized until around 12 or 1 p.m. So the meal that I made for myself for tomorrow, now you'll see I packed it in a small container. It's actually lentil soup with some cauliflower rice. So cauliflower rice is a rice substitute that I use. I used to prepare it by grating cauliflower and then sauteing the grated cauliflower for around 5 to 10 minutes in olive oil. There's a ton of really good recipes online. I tend to eat really simple meals. So in this case, it's just cauliflower rice topped with some lentils, a little dollop of Kerrygold grass-fed butter, and some salt. And to me, it's a meal I look forward to eating. It's delicious. It helps me feel good. And the fiber, especially in lentils, slows down the amount of blood sugar, or the amount of sugar that our body absorbs from our GI tract. So it gives you an even state of blood sugar levels, which as a busy career-oriented person, or say you're a full-time stay-at-home parent, you need to make sure that your energy levels are good from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, and this is the perfect meal to do that. I made the cauliflower rice in bulk so that I could also have it with other meals throughout the week. This is one of my favorite things about cauliflower, is the fact that it belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family. And cruciferous vegetables are so important for their ability to balance our hormones and to help our body, our liver, with detoxification processes, chock full of antioxidants, just a really good vegetable to have. And tomorrow I'm going to be able to have my first serving right at breakfast. So the other thing that I made, I ate one of them for dinner already, but I made breaded wild-caught cod. So cod is a really easy to find fish. It's lower in the heavy metal, from a heavy metal standpoint. And to make breaded cod, it's actually really simple. You just take some coconut flour. I used coconut flour, and I used some shredded coconut flakes, and literally just covered the defrosted fillet in the breading, and then I baked it, I think, at 425 for like 10 minutes. Simple recipe. I, again, don't have time to have complex recipes. Usually most of my recipes take about 10 or 15 minutes to make. This one I think took 15 minutes. Some salt and garlic powder on top, and I'm going to enjoy this with either mustard, which is how I enjoyed it with dinner time, or with some white miso paste. So what I really like about miso paste is that a lot of the times people use it to make soup, but I actually really like the flavor as a sauce. And miso paste itself is super protective against breast cancer. It's a fermented food, a lot of flavor. Sometimes I'll have miso paste on brown rice cakes, or with some pasta. It's just a really nice flavor. It's a hearty flavor. I like it a lot. So if you haven't tried it yet, you can find it usually in most health food stores. And one bottle, this one has about 19 servings of miso soup, and for me it usually lasts about 6 months. So while it is a little costly, it is definitely one of those superfoods that's good to tap into. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be enjoying tomorrow is actually some roasted cauliflower. So I made this cauliflower while I was cooking the fish. And usually when I decide that I'm going to bake some fish or some other form of meat, I'll just pile vegetables onto the tray to conserve energy, and I love roasting my vegetables. In this case, the broccoli, when you roast it, it develops, the tops get a little brown and crispy. And I roast it covered in extra virgin olive oil and add a little bit of salt to it. And it also is a cruciferous vegetable, really health promoting. And I enjoy it as a side with any of my main meals. It's just another way to get extra fiber, and another serving of vegetables. Takes about 10 minutes to cook. Okay, so I ended up having one more serving of the cauliflower lentil soup, and I like to pack it in small containers that I can just grab and throw into my bag. But I had some leftover lentils, and I can already tell you what I'm going to do with this leftover soup. I'm probably going to throw some greens on top of it, and I'll probably chop up some tomatoes and enjoy the lentil soup with some greens and tomatoes, which is one of my favorite ways to eat lentils. So the next meal I made was actually a really hearty soup. I'm just going to grab it so I can show it to you. So in the wintertime especially, I really love making warming soups. I like having it for breakfast, but it also works well for lunch or dinner. And this soup has shredded cabbage, it has zucchini, and it has onions in it. And I sauteed it all up, and then I added some water, and I actually added some beef broth. This one's called Better Than Bouillon, and it gives it this warming flavor. For me, wintertime, I tend to feel a little tired, a little sluggish, and when I'm eating warming meals, I end up feeling as if I'm nourishing myself. So I love making vegetable soups and adding a tiny amount of bouillon I hope I'm pronouncing that right, as a base for it. So I actually ate cabbage soup all weekend, and I decided that I wanted to have it during the week. Again, cabbage is a really good cruciferous vegetable as well, and I tend to just throw in any leftover vegetables I have in my vegetable soup, and in this case I had a lot of leftover zucchini, and so those are the main courses that I'll have. It'll probably last me to Wednesday. And then usually Thursday nights I end out cooking for, Thursday night, and then Friday, and then the weekend I can just relax. But I also have an arsenal of foods that I call fast foods. And so one of my favorite types of fast foods is actually just fruits themselves. I love apples. They're higher in fiber, and when I pair it with the nut butter, I end out experiencing an increase in my energy levels. And I think it's because of the fiber, the sugar, and then the nut butter has a healthy source of fat as well as protein. So during the day, let's say I had breakfast at 7, and then I had lunch at 12:30. And say I won't be home until around 6 and I didn't pack dinner for myself, I'll tend to keep an apple with me in my purse, and whether or not I eat it doesn't matter. I can always have it the next day, but just knowing it's there helps me know that I have enough food to keep me through the day, to keep my energy levels high. And it feels good when you can eat something like this because you were anticipating needing a snack. One of my other favorite forms of fast food is actually just carrots. So this is a bag of carrots. And you'll oftentimes find me walking around with a bag of carrots in my backpack or in my purse. Carrots are also an excellent vegetable, higher in sugar and higher in fiber, so they help boost your blood sugar levels when they're dipping a little. And the key to good health, again, the key to feeling good, to having good brain thoughts, to not have a foggy brain, to have good memory, to function well, is to maintain blood sugar levels. So carrots are a fantastic snack, again, paired with almond butter or black bean dip or hummus. Hummus is another one of my favorites, and this one I bought prepackaged hummus, and I'll just put a couple of dollops in a small container, take it with me with my carrots, and they pair really well together. So I also love tomatoes. You will never find my fridge without a ton of tomatoes in it. Tomatoes are really high in an ingredient called lycopene. And lycopene is an antioxidant that we find in our eyes. It's in our retina. It helps to promote the health of our retina. But it's also found in the ovaries of women. So it's a potent antioxidant for the female reproductive tract. The last food that's in my pile of fast food items that I can snack on throughout the week is mushrooms. Mushrooms are one of my favorite power foods. They're cheap, they're really healthy, and they're on the Clean 15 list, so you don't have to buy them organic. You don't have to buy cabbage organic either. You can get both of those as regular produce. They have low amounts of pesticide residue in them. And mushrooms, you can have them raw. I like to eat them raw, but sometimes I like a hearty mushroom soup. And mushrooms, if you have good digestion, you should be able to tolerate them raw really well. If you have weaker digestion, the cell wall may actually cause issues for you. But mushrooms are really protective against breast cancer. So they're a power food, a lot of antioxidants, immune stimulation, and actually mushrooms and miso, both of them are really good foods to protect against breast cancer for women. And those are pretty much the foods that I'm going to be eating the first half of this week. So there you have it. That's my health habit that I wanted to share with you. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you're already partaking in this habit, keep up the good work. If this is a habit that you're thinking about incorporating into your life, remember, baby steps go a long way. So you may just want to try maybe one Sunday out of the month, or you may just want to try it next Sunday, not necessarily committing to the habit fully, but just seeing how the week goes for you. So if you choose to do this, please keep me updated, send me a message, or respond to this post letting me know what you decided to make and how the week went for you. Thank you for watching, and please like and share, spread the health.